Sink white fangs in the throat of life, lap up the red that gushes. In the cold dark gloom of the bare black stones, in the gorge where the black wind rushes. Slink where the Titan boulders poise, and the chasms grind thereunder, over the mountains black and bare, in the teeth of the brooding thunder. Why should we wish for the fertile fields, valley and crystal fountain? This is our doom, the hunger trail, the wolf and the storm-stalked mountain. Over us stalk the bellowing gods, where the dusk and the twilight sever. Under their iron goatish hoofs they crunch our skulls forever. Mercy and hope and pity, all, bubbles the black crags sunder. Hunger is all the gods have left, and the death that lurks thereunder. Glut mad fangs in the blood of life, to slake the thirst past sating, before the blind worm's mouth are bones, and the vulture's beak is grating.
Once, on a night like this, 4 guys, just like us, reviewed chick flicks in an attic, just like this one, about movies with periods, and that movie was called The Runaways.
I don't think we did that in an attic. I thought we did that in the dining room.
There's nothing scary about the dining room, Stray.
Can we at least do it in OJ?
What if it was the Lee High School cafeteria?
That is terrifying.
See? Dining room.
Disturbing.
Turkey taco pie. It's alive. And it's Frankenstein hot dogs that's green on one side and pink on the other.
I never got those hot dogs.
Yeah, you did. You just never looked at them. You kept them in the bun. So, today, in the spirit of Halloween and October and all that's great, murderous gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook. That would be my my word call if I was like a super.
Gobbledygook.
Well,
We are
Mine is
reviewing
blood for the blood god.
mine would be I Am the Law.
a movie about growing up, having your period,
And growing pains.
strong, empowered,
And having sex.
And lack of character.
To be a strong, independent white woman that don't need no man.
Exactly. Nobody in this movie need no man. They prove that over and over again.
Until they need a man.
The
That
only
does
man
drugs.
he was a drug
Sell some
dealer.
drugs.
Ginger snaps. Don't you just love when the heroes of the movie is a 15-year-old stupid girl and a drug dealer?
And then her 16-year-old stupid sister.
Oh, man.
They're all both stupid. Bridget and Ginger.
The two main characters of this movie,
Bridget
they
and
are
Ginger.
the biggest Tim Burton fangirls that you will ever know in your life.
And the most wannabe goths that you will ever see. Oh, I want to die, so I'm going to pretend to slit my wrist across. But that won't kill me because I don't really want to die.
Have we introduced everyone else yet?
We don't need
You
to
haven't
introduce
introduced
ourselves.
anybody.
I'm Geo, he's Stray, he's McFisticuffs, he's End.
No, it's Halloween.
Fine. God.
Dr. In now.
Okay, Dr. N, and I'll be Professor.
On Pro?
And I will,
Surgery.
Hey,
and I will be Dr. Professor Geo.
Dr. Geo. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Dr. Acula?
No, Doctor Who. That's my name for tonight.
Doctor Who McFisticuffs.
I'm Dr. Zed then. Or Dr. Ned.
We need
Whichever
a Dr. Zoidberg.
Oh. Okay, I'm just going to grab my Zoidberg plush from my bed right now. These guys actually know I have it.
No, we didn't.
I did not.
I know you have a gay elf hat.
Wait, I thought I showed it. No, I showed it to Geo and N that one time.
Nope. Not to me.
My good friend
Anyways.
gets Zoidberg plush from Comic-Con. So, yeah. It's going to be my co-host.
Anyways,
So, yeah.
our movie's about
I'm
you
completely
dumbass.
confused as to who everyone is now.
I am Dr. Geo.
I am Doctor Who McFisticuffs.
You are Dr. End, and he is Dr.
He doesn't get to have a PhD.
I'm
He's
sure that-
Asian. We gotta give him something.
He is Dr. Stray Zoidberg,
Oh,
Yeah.
brother of Dr. John Zoidberg.
I'm more successful than he is.
No, you're not.
You know
So
the
much
economy is
stuff
bad.
to talk about.
Well, you can sum up this
just-
movie by saying it's a bunch of about two dumbass white girls named Bridget and Ginger.
Yes. And apparently
Well-
they want to be out of the house by 16 or they're going to die. Going to kill themselves.
I'm not gonna kill
I was just
myself.
gonna say, the most important thing, this is a werewolf movie.
Yes.
It's just, get that out there.
Which you can't really tell from the name Ginger Snaps.
No, you can.
Yeah, nope.
When I saw this movie on our list, I thought I was going to be reviewing another chick movies. Like, this is my vagina, deal with it type movies.
I thought it was going to be about gingers.
I knew this movie was a werewolf movie from the start.
Because it's Canadian.
No, I just heard of it. I think I
Canada?
saw it at a video store once.
You didn't hear about it in America.
America.
No, it was in a video store once, actually. That's how I know about it.
Okay, so here's what I want to talk about first. The first thing you see, the first thing in the movie is the mother character they introduced at the very beginning that they never go back to.
Dead
I
dog.
absolutely love this scene because she's crying in the front lawn and everybody stops and looks at her and then they're like, "Bitch, please!" And then they turn around and continue playing hockey. It's like she's not even screaming for her life. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
They do not care about her dog.
Speaking of which, like, when they found her dog who was dead, half the dog's body was missing. You don't
Yep.
think that dog would be screaming at some point as it was getting eaten?
Are you trying to bring logic into this movie?
Yes, I'm going to bring logic into this movie.
Because by the third movie, you would know that there was never any logic to begin with.
I've been watching too much Linkara. You can blame
Hey.
it on him.
Oh,
Don't rate
someone
this
wearing the
movie by its
well,
feet.
He tried really hard to put logic in Justice League Act of God.
look. We don't have the continuity alarm, or well, we would have destroyed that thing from overuse.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
Mamma Mia.
We've established that the two characters are a little crazy to begin with. They're a little out there.
They want to be
They
goths.
seem quite disturbed.
Like I said, they're wannabe goths.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
like
see that movie they made with...
Yeah, but here's the thing. They would never go through with it. They would never go through with it.
Probably not, actually.
Yeah.
So they're wannabes.
Have y'all ever realized that they never comb or brush their hair?
Nope. Well, hold on. Doesn't the older sister, once she becomes a werewolf, try to do her hair? She looks like Rogue for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw when I saw that first scene with when she goes back to high school.
After she actually puts on makeup or something and does her hair, she looks
Yeah.
like Rogue.
I was like, am I watching X-Men now?
You know what?
yes,
How come everybody in this movie seems to own a dog?
because
What the
it's the
hell?
suburbs.
And they're white.
There's so
Here's
many
something you have to
dogs in this movie.
understand
They're
about this
they're
movie.
not sluts and they're white, so they have to be the underdogs.
Like, about this movie, you have to understand early on, it's not a realistic movie. Like, almost everybody in it are exaggerated or cartoon characters. like, the only person or people that can even be called characters are the three, Ginger, Bridget, and Sam. The rest,
What about the mom?
no.
What?
No,
she's
yeah, the
badass.
mom-
She's bad. She
mom-
was willing to burn her house, get rid of her husband.
She's like one of the most cartoony characters.
Yeah, but at the end, she was ready to burn her house down like a boss to protect her daughters. Cause fuck her husband, she hates him.
What is this, Lifetime movie now?
Yeah, it's a Lifetime
It's
movie.
a Lifetime movie.
I'm pretty-
Of the dad and the new guy. She was just
I think-
the exact same. You can talk to me overprotective, way too gentle parenting that they used in that movie.
Yeah, but
Transformers.
But it's not just, that either, because the other characters, like the girl that they all hate, I forgot her name,
Trish.
had an awesome death, by the way.
I
Was
don't
it-
know. It was something that started with Tree.
Yeah, the way she, acts towards Sam, the drug dealer, even though he doesn't like her, it's like, Sam, and then he drives away, like, nope.
I ain't touching that with a 5-foot pole.
No, 9.5.
Trina. Her name's Trina.
It's
Yeah.
obvious that some parts of the movie aren't meant to be taken all that seriously. And that's the
It's a
real thing
horror
that's
movie.
focusing on is pretty much the development of Bridget and Ginger and the whole metaphor for periods. In fact, one of the things I
they got
found
their periods late. Like, they're 15 and 16 and haven't gotten their periods yet.
Yeah.
And then they get their period and they're like, oh, now we're just like everyone else.
No. She gets
You
her
wanna be
period,
different.
and then it attracts a werewolf.
attracts a bear wolf.
I know, right?
I love how they
Yeah.
mention that periods attract bears too.
Oh,
it's
I
obvious
thought
they
you
attract
said-
werewolves.
He said a bear wolf because of how it looks.
Oh, I thought you said Beowulf.
That would
It attracted Beowulf. What?
Yes, we're gonna refer to the wolf as Beowulf right now. He he just left his last movie. He slayed the Jabberwocky. So,
Jabberwocky.
and that's another phrase for vagina.
Oh,
Vagina's apparently a Lovecraftian horror, by the way.
Oh man, I'm gonna start using that now. Hey girl, let's see your Jabberwocky. That is Brutus Bandersnatch.
And reason why we usually restrict ourselves to chick flicks.
I'm sorry. But then I just thought that the werewolf, or Beowulf, looks a lot more better than Twilight werewolves.
well, that goes without saying.
Oh, man,
Because it's
anything looks
not
better.
a giant wolf. It's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Once. But then again,
But
they even
it's
explain in
also not a
Twilight,
bunch
and
of
I hate to
dudes.
defend it, that they aren't actually werewolves. So,
That's also not a bunch of dudes running around the woods, no shirt on, playing grab ass.
I thought it was playing hacky sack or whatever.
I don't know, something about white people. So
you guys
No, I
have to
think
forgive us
that's
for,
that.
bringing up Twilight in like every episode, but it's
It's
almost
also-
over, and then after it's over, we can't talk about it anymore.
I thought it was over already.
Oh, no. It's not over until we start making fun of 50 Shades of Grey, the trilogy.
There's
God.
a trilogy.
There are 3 books, and then they released all 3 books together called the 50 Shades trilogy.
So, we're gonna review that, right?
No!
Well, Emma Watson's gonna be in the movie naked.
Who?
Emma Watson.
No!
Oh, I'm going to watch that.
I knew you would.
I kind of would watch that.
Wow.
Hey, at least it's not Daniel Radcliffe on the stage naked before.
Emma Watson? Yeah, I'll take a look at her Jabberwocky. She's a Jabberwocky.
As you can tell, we're Hillary Duff in this movie because we don't care about this movie at all.
No. We just hate this movie so much we can't talk
Well,
about
Ben
it.
loves this movie, right? Well, you like it.
Love is
Love
too
it.
much.
Yeah, you like it.
But
I think you like it though.
the movie kind of like the opening credits is the little mini movie that the girls made with them in like dead
Yeah.
poses.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder why the teacher played that tape all the way through. Within the first 10 seconds of me viewing it as a teacher, I would have took the tape off and failed them.
Well, I wouldn't have.
Well, depending on what the assignment was.
Yeah, depending on what the assignment was. If
Yeah.
it's like
I mean, like,
artistic
it was
expression,
But I don't think that was the art class they were in. He had way too much authority in that
It
class.
looks like a normal class.
they never tell you what the class was. All they tell you is that that guy had huge eyebrows.
And that guy also sends you to the office a bunch.
He does that a lot.
But all the teachers in this movie are incompetent.
Yeah.
You only ever see one.
I mean,
Well,
like,
in the
Yeah,
PE
all.
teacher.
Yeah, she makes them play freaking lacrosse, or is that
I
street
think
hockey?
it's lacrosse.
That's
field
hockey. I don't know what the hell it
That's
is.
field hockey.
Field hockey.
oh,
Oh, of course.
thanks, Stray. I mean, Dr. Stray. Sorry.
Dr. Stray Zoidberg. That's not it.
But, like, during the gym scenes where they're outside, you know, they're smoking. And there's obviously a teacher out there directing the games. So how come the teacher doesn't stop the kids out there that's smoking cigarettes?
Because they are horrible, horrible teachers.
So they're playing lacrosse or field hockey, and the Trina, is that her name?
We're just
Yeah.
gonna call her Trina from here on out. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
It is Trina.
So Trina pushes Sam, Bridget,
Yes.
Bridget's the younger sister.
Okay, pushes Bridget onto what appears to be a dead dog.
And the teacher does nothing to Trina.
I should say that the chick that's playing Bridget is 22 years old playing a 15-year-old girl.
Wow.
That's nothing new.
So I didn't feel guilty.
No, you should not feel guilty. But
I
here's
did
the
not
thing.
feel guilty.
The girl playing
Sam felt
older
guilty.
sister is actually younger.
Really?
Yep.
'Cause
Wow.
she actually looks older.
Nope. Ginger was the older sister, right? The one that got
Yes.
to a vampire. Yeah, she's actually younger.
A werewolf.
Not vampire.
Yeah, vampire,
Wow.
werewolf, whatever.
But
Whatever. Twilight's ruined them
nobody-
to a point of no return at this point.
So how come nobody noticed the dead dog in the field?
Because they're stupid. All
Yeah.
I can assume. That is all I can assume.
And his guts was everywhere.
Yeah. How did no one notice that?
And it was a bunch of girls too. I'm not saying, I'm not really. I mean, there are girls that can take a few things, but let's say it was my cousin. She's a typical girl, and she's playing field hockey or whatever. She's gonna notice a dead dog and scream.
Yeah, no.
Real loud.
Or the groundskeeper or something. I mean, someone's going to notice that thing there.
The
Like
guys
the
aren't going to
Asian guy.
notice because they're too busy perving out.
I know,
On the
right?
bit.
Yeah, notice the
Well,
guys weren't doing anything for that whole movie. Well, for the whole sports PE part thing.
Yeah, they're like, guys, you just get to watch. But that's because there's only 3 of them on that
I
in
thought
that
there were-
class.
I thought there were a couple in the background too.
No one cares.
The drug dealer. That was about it. And no one really knows the drug dealer when he comes to school.
I know, right? With a van.
Those 2.
Yeah.
Is he like a high school dropout selling weed out of his house? I guess he doesn't live with his parents. So I mean, he could be like a dropout or something. The cops don't do anything because there are apparently no police
In
in
Canada.
this city.
It's Canada.
Yeah, there's no police in this city. If this thing
No, we got police. We just don't care about the weed that much.
of course, if it was the
Speaking
U.S.
of
Yeah,
the
the U.S. would be a different story.
Speaking of the drug dealer, is that Sean from A Boy Meets a Boy?
That's what I
No.
was
I
thinking.
thought too.
That's what I was
No.
thinking. No, was that hair? You think is that Sean? 30-foot range?
Yeah, like it was the hair and the voice. Like it was
Yeah.
so similar.
No, Sean was in a worse movie.
Oh,
No.
Cabin Fever.
Yeah, he was also in White Noise, I think 3. That's the bad guy.
Oh, no. That,
No,
no.
he did not do
No,
that.
was it Pulp?
No, it was Pulse.
Yeah.
That's worse than White
It was
Noise
Pulp.
3.
It was Pulp 3.
Oh, I hate
Remember
Pulp.
Bayless's review of that. He was Sean was
Wait.
in it.
Wait,
Ooh.
Pulp had a 3?
Yeah.
I didn't even expect it to get a 2.
Two and 3 were both filmed on blue screen, so they never went outside to film in here.
Not all the time. Sometimes they would show the actual house, and then the next scene would be on blue screen of that house.
What the hell?
Wow.
But he was in Final Destination 3.
Oh,
I slightly remember that.
I haven't watched any of the Final Destination movies.
Here's
Well-
something I enjoyed from this movie, is when Ginger was first getting attacked by the werewolf. I like how it dragged her 3 or 4 times, and then she still can run away at the end. Really? You should be dead, at least after the second time.
I had the Paranormal Activity vibe going from there. They didn't really show the werewolf that much. At
Nope.
least not the main one.
I want to know
that-
how it died. It just got run over.
That's
Yeah.
how it died.
Apparently a truck killed a werewolf.
Here's the
And
thing.
that's a very embarrassing way for a werewolf to go.
Especially
I
Beowulf.
think the reason that werewolf died so easily, but the two sisters don't, is because they're special.
Or because they didn't get hit by a car.
No, it's because they're special. Third movie proves it. Because the third movie is just
Didn't I
like
tell you
the
can't base this movie on the third movie?
They have to, because third movie's a prequel. Because apparently, this all happened once before in ancient Canada, Europe. And the girls just got reincarnated to have the exact same thing happen to them.
It's called lazy writing.
Yep.
It's called, both sequels were green lighted and
Third and second movie were filmed at the same time.
yeah.
So the girls in the beginning of the movie, they seem to dress like from the 1800s when the settlers just moved to Texas. I mean, you can be homely, but why are you wearing that skirt? That
No,
suit
well,
Nancy Ross was so.
Well, it came out in 2000, so the film should take place around 99, 2000, something like that.
Yeah, but they look like settlers.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like settlers.
Remember, they want to be different.
Like, their
They want-
parents were so happy. How the hell did they raise moody children?
Because I don't know, they're whiny little bitches. And that's why. You see, they're wannabe goths.
They're so moody. So pretentious. It's like Bella all the way to the extreme.
Hey, at least they had some kind of emotion.
Yeah, don't insult them.
I know, right?
Well, then again, Bella did throw herself off a cliff and crash a motorcycle to get attention. These girls make death movies.
They make suicide threats.
Yeah.
But would never follow through with it.
You know what? As much as I hate this movie, I cannot say the acting was bad. It was okay. It was pretty okay acting.
The writing and the effects that really got to me.
Yeah.
Like, the blood near the end, that was obviously ketchup. Like,
wasn't
when they had to
ketchup.
drink the blood.
Mhm.
No one uses ketchup. It was corn syrup. But,
With,
I mean, seriously, I can never, ever argue over the use of prosthetic effects in movies. Unless it's bright pink blood. But if it's not bright pink, it's okay with me, because I like the prosthetics in this movie, the animatronics on the werewolf, the blood, they got the coloring about right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all good to me.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like,
if it was
the werewolf
CG, I would have
was-
hated it.
Huh.
Mm.
The werewolf
I just
was-
didn't like the werewolf itself.
The design was really off, and he looked kind of like a naked Chinaman.
Huh.
But the execution was good
Was all right.
as far as
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
effects.
Well,
I mean,
I'll give it that much.
I did appreciate that this movie is trying to do its own thing with the werewolf. You know, they have
Yeah.
different rules. But I don't think teenagers should be the one to figure out what kills a werewolf.
No,
That just doesn't
what
seem.
I want to know is how they found the exact herb that cures the werewolf thing.
Her
Hey,
mom
no.
had it.
It's
No, I mean-
it's Wolfsbane, which
Yeah.
is one of the which has always been one of the weaknesses of werewolves. Except it's lighter. It's a related plant that you can take without getting hurt. Like, they didn't find a way to kill the werewolf. The whole point of the movie wasn't to kill the werewolf, it was to cure it.
Yes, but then she had to kill it anyways.
Yeah,
Well,
because she had
Laura kind of
to
killed itself.
Yeah, because it was coming for her. She had the syringe and the knife in her hand. She chose the knife.
Which is rather strange. You know, she spent so much time fighting for her sister.
But her sister was just charging towards her. She probably had no time to think and just used her.
That's one of the main themes of the story is Bridget, you know, removing herself from her sister, become a stronger person apart from her sister, not following what her sister does all the time, through her sister's, you know, evolution and becoming a bitch. And at the end, Bridget becomes her own person.
I sense that, but I think they could have did a better job with that character development.
Well,
they could have had more scenes where she did like a self-monologue, or, you know, just thinking.
In a horror movie? You know how many... I would just, like, completely piss off its target audience. It's like, who put Shakespeare in my werewolf movie?
Who put werewolf in my Shakespeare movie?
I heard you like Shakespeare, so I put some Shakespeare in your horror movie.
Straight, don't, that makes
American
sense.
Werewolf in Shakespeare.
Dog, you like Hamlet? Nigga, put some werewolves in that bitch.
So we roll. You can interpret it Shakespeare any way you want, motherfuckers.
I know, right? After The Lion King, Simba gets bitten by a werewolf. What?
No. Don't you do Macbeth as... Wait, no, it was Hamlet. Hamlet with lions?
Lion King. What about Finding Nemo? Which one was that based off of?
I didn't know Finding Nemo was based off of anything.
It was based off a Shakespeare play. Well, it had elements from it, and I can't remember which play it was. But, you know, the king losing his son.
King Lear. No. King Lear was about 3 daughters, and he exiles the smartest one because she disagrees with him because he was about to make a stupid choice.
Well, you know, a lot of Disney movies rip off Shakespeare, but
or Japan.
Or Japan.
With Kimbo the White Lion.
Oh man, that was a total snatch. I don't care what Disney says.
Yeah.
That was...
No, it's rips off Japan for the art, rips off Shakespeare for the story.
Well, Shakespeare's a different thing, though, because everyone does that. It's free licensing.
No.
Yes.
Anyways, back to this movie.
Now, there was a
scene... we're Hillary Duffing this movie again.
There was a scene where the girls were playing field hockey again, where the older sister, Ginger, just completely tackles Trina.
Because she was messing with her sister, because it looked like the Sean Tucker wanted to bang her sister.
That's what I was getting at before. How come Trina didn't get in trouble for shoving her sister into a dog corpse, but Ginger gets in trouble for beating up Trina?
Because Trina is paying off to school. She looks rich bitch enough.
I mean, that scene really bothered me, because the teacher sent Ginger to the office, but has the teacher not noticed Trina harassing and physically insulting the sister the last game they had?
But then again, another thing that we completely forgot to mention, it is the sister's fault that Trina is beating her up.
Oh yes, they were playing their little game of predicting death.
Well, more like creating death. She does kind of have it coming.
But, yeah. Now, since I'm a pervert, I need to talk about these sex scenes in this movie.
Werewolf nipples.
all 9 of them.
That was creepy. Towards the end, I did not need to see werewolf nipples. But, during the sex scene with Ginger and the douchebag, the next day, he pissed blood.
Yes.
What the hell did she do to him?
He got infected with the werewolf virus.
They had rough sex.
And that was another thing I was going to mention back when like I said, it is kind of like a thing on puberty, and I like how their curse kind of manifests differently to reflect that. Because, his face, he gets pimples and starts getting, like, splotchy skin, which is how they depict Mel in puberty, in the media.
Yes.
So, I thought that was kind of smart, how they compared the two.
Now, if the director did that on purpose, that would be smart. But I don't think that was on purpose.
It's a shame that he's the one that, got saved.
I know. Like, the nice guy dies, even though he's a drug dealer, but the douchebag gets cured and lives. Now that I think about it, in this movie, we saw everybody's rape face.
I want to talk about the back and forth of how Ginger feels about this puberty and the werewolf thing in general. Because one of the things that always gets me in horror movies, well, used to, when you watch as many horror movies as me, you kind of get used to the, I don't believe this is happening stick that happens all the time. And like, how much needs to happen for you to believe that this is happening? Like, Ginger, you grew a tail, and you don't think you're turning into a werewolf? Seriously? Well, later, they really show, when I look at, the thing about Ginger is, the way she feels about her having her period is the way I would feel if I magically turned into a woman, and then I just had my period.
Now I'm like everyone else.
No.
It's like,
I don't get to be different and freaky.
that scene when she's at the doctor's office or the school nurse or wherever that was,
Yeah.
and she has that expression on her face, that's exactly how I would feel.
She was explaining how a period works.
Yes. Later on, when she's, slowly becoming more wolfy, she's like, it happened so instantaneously that it threw me off. It's like, you don't understand the hell I am living with. I just had my period. It sucks. Then, like, the next second, you're just jealous because I'm maturing into a woman. I'm leaving you behind. I'm like, what? You can't have it both ways.
Well, are you not aware of the fact that she's on her period?
I'm just like, aren't you not aware that you're a werewolf now?
No,
Are you really gonna?
She's too busy dealing with the period she just got. It's too much stuff all at once.
I'm probably worried about the fact that I'm a werewolf.
She's taking women priorities, not men priorities.
Oh. Well, she was still stupid.
Yep.
Now, this movie, I don't really like horror movies. Not saying that I just don't like getting scared. I don't want to pay money to get scared when I go to a movie theater. But when I watched this movie, I wasn't scared. It was stupid. It was a really stupid movie. It was too stupid to be scary. Like, have you ever seen a horror movie where the cast acts so stupid that you just wish that they would all die?
That would be 9/10 of all horror movies.
Yep.
My point exactly.
I haven't watched enough.
All the Scream movies I've seen, everybody needs to die. Though, what I love about this movie, what I love about Ginger Snaps, is a black person did not die. Because he was never in it.
Nope. He was there, but he knew to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, he left town. If he was on camera for more than 10 seconds, he was going to be dead. That's horror movie logic. Oh, man. And, that mother. Didn't anybody think of the mother from Transformers? Sam?
A little bit.
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were just alike.
I have not watched those Transformers movies.
One thing, because typically I don't look at the wiki, but I had to look at the wiki on this one because after the mom stepped out of the car and disappeared from the movie entirely, I was like, what happened to her?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
Maybe she was smoking weed. I don't know.
Went off.
She left town, started a new family.
She met a dad and gave birth to Sam, and now she's in the Transformers movies. I'm willing to bet that's the same actor.
Right.
It isn't.
Oh, it would be so funny if it was. But did anybody felt like they got shortchanged at the end of the movie? Man, that ending sucked.
Oh, you have no idea how the second one's gonna suck worse.
Oh, I really felt abandoned. This movie abandoned me.
I liked the ending. It's a horror movie ending. So of course I like it. I'm the horror buff.
True, like,
But
just
nothing
have to be
happens
very
at the
particular.
end. I want a resolution.
What type of resolution do you want at the end of a horror movie?
I
You
wanna
barely
know.
get one. Ever.
I need to know what happens to the sister after she lays her head on the werewolf body.
She becomes a werewolf too.
But you have to understand that has nothing to do with the
With this.
fundamental principles of the movie.
But that
It's about her
ending,
growing up. It's about Ginger going through her cycle, and all that's over. So everything extra is unnecessary.
well, that ending really. When I watched the ending, I was like, damn, this ending was totally made for a sequel. They did that on purpose to have a sequel.
2 sequels. And a TV show.
And
Wow.
a sequel. Wow.
No, they wanted to do a
there were
TV
plans
show,
for a TV show.
Okay,
but then
but
they made sequels.
I like
with
this
the-
movie.
okay,
Not
the
worth a
sequel.
TV show.
Oh man, just wait till MTV get their hands on this. They're gonna abuse it.
Now, one thing I liked about
you-
this movie,
you-
one thing that really stood out to me about this movie is how they describe becoming a werewolf. Pretty much when she says, I have an ache to tear shit to pieces. Because no one ever, like, really describes what it's like to become a werewolf. You know, before they become a werewolf, or, like, why they just kill all these people. And now here in this movie, it's like, I do it because I just have this
Or
reverent need to do so. I can't help it. And, it's like, you assume that in just about every werewolf movie, but it's nice to hear it. It's nice for the characters themselves to realize it.
Well, actually, I do have a favorite line from this movie. It was a conversation between the drug dealer and Bridget when it was just starting researching werewolves. The lines went along something like, there has to be a cure because there would have been more werewolves going around if there wasn't a cure. And I was like, wow, that actually kind of makes a bit of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I actually appreciate that line.
Or maybe the cure is a truck, and werewolves just can't cross the street at night.
Yep.
No. The actual cure is a silver bullet, but you have to hit them in a non-vital area so they don't die afterwards.
Silver did not work.
Yeah. Well, it did.
No, it has to be a silver bullet.
That's
has
how
to-
she killed her sister. Silver knife.
No one keeps a silver knife. It was just a knife. These weren't super
It
werewolves.
was just a
It wasn't. They weren't. That one werewolf wasn't killed by a silver van. It was a regular van.
Are you trying to reference the movie in some way?
I mean,
It should've
Sam
been,
has a lot of money, but he doesn't have enough money to buy a van made out of silver.
It
Or
should have been
silver.
killed by Herbie. Herbie
Umber?
would have killed it.
And
Not
another
Herbie
thing I
Fulton.
liked was it wasn't the relationship between Sam and Bridget wasn't a romantic relationship, and that is so rare in these things.
It was a business relationship.
Pretty. It wasn't even a business relationship. He's like, wow, this is freaky. I know that's freaking you out too.
That's
How
why,
about
like,
I
I
help
don't
you?
want to die, so I'm gonna help you.
Well, he wouldn't have died if he just stayed away.
No, he would have died.
Bridget would.
Because
No.
Ginger
The whole
would have
town
like,
would've-
you took
the whole
my
town-
sister away from me.
The whole town would have died.
Yeah. I just love during the movie where the drug dealer to roll up in a van during gym, and none of the teachers really noticed him calling out the student's name.
I know, right?
That's
Comes
because the
towards his van.
teacher is in the back of the van doing drugs.
With a bunch of dead dogs. Dead dog carcasses. I wonder how many cadavers they had to use for this movie.
None. I told you, that's all practical effects. Good stuff.
Yeah. It was so ugh. I did not want to see dog guts. That was too
Really,
much.
that's worse than human death?
Well, I can tell you this. The relationship between Bridget and a drug dealer, still a better love story than Twilight. It's Halloween, baby. I'm going to be making Twilight references every movie we review during Halloween. And yes, I will be watching part 2 of Breaking Dawn. It's going to be the most hilarious movie I'll ever see in my life.
You're actually going to go watch it?
I'm going to see the midnight release of it.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Have mercy on your
Torture
soul.
yourself, man. Don't torture yourself.
You know,
Or
the
are we
interesting
just
thing about
finishing
this
this up?
movie, being that we are chick flick shuffle, when they had that scene where she was walking down the hall in slow motion, I was like, yep, it's chick flicky enough. This right here, everybody looking at her as she walks down the hall. Only in chick flicks.
Oh,
And I know for a fact, stuff like that happened at our school. Nobody gave a damn. Like, if she walked down the hall as, like, part werewolf at our school, no one's gonna look at her like, oh, she's hot. They're gonna be like, man, you got my math homework? Nope.
Or they'll be like, damn,
Aw.
this bitch got a fat ass. That's Lee High School,
Like,
baby.
I really don't know because I never loitered inside of Lee High School.
Yeah.
You know, we were on the outside, so
Yep.
I don't even know what goes on the inside when school's out.
Well, now they have a security wall.
Yeah. That,
It's not to keep people out, it's to keep people in.
No, it's both.
Oh, to all the people that may be listening to us, if you're wondering what high school we're talking about, we all went, well, except for Stray, we all went to Robert E. Lee High School at Montgomery, Alabama.
It was called Robert E. Lee. It had the most black people of any high school ever.
And the entire 3 years they were there, football team didn't win a single game. Oh, wait, they won one game because the other team couldn't come.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on the marching band when that happened. It was hilarious. Oh, and the best part is, in Montgomery, we celebrate Martin Luther King Day and Robert E. Lee's birthday on the same day.
Irony.
Oh, yeah. That's ironic, isn't it?
I'm just shaking my head over here in Canada.
Have Canada Day.
We have Canada Day and we have Canada.
Week.
No, we just have Canada Day.
Yeah, they don't have Christmas. They have Canada Day.
We do have Christmas. We have all the usual kind of days off. We also have Victoria Day.
This movie.
We just gonna give our final thoughts on this movie.
Well, there's some things I still have to say, so I'll try to wrap it up.
Go
Okay.
for it, man.
Go for it.
The one scene, like, I think, well, aside from Ginger, but she's got hormones and werewolf hormones, and she was crazy to begin with.
And woman.
And, you know, all the cartoon characters. Bridget, what she does is, you know, relatively intelligent.
Well,
Except for the
remember,
one scene where she's hiding the knife, and she picks up the knife and she puts it in the drawer. Like, oh, she'll never look in this drawer that's by her bed. Werewolves can't open drawers. What? And it becomes just a setup for the end, but yeah, they could have done that better.
is their brother retarded?
What?
Did they have a brother?
Yeah, they have a brother, fat brother.
That was their brother?
That was their brother.
Who was their brother?
How come he was never at any of the dinner tables?
I don't know. They always showed him in their house area.
No, I thought he was the next door neighbor.
He was a
Yeah.
neighbor? Oh, okay. I thought he was their brother.
That can't
Oh, I
be.
was about to say,
I thought it was their
Yeah.
brother.
that was a terrible job at that, right?
Because I thought it was their brother. I was like, he's always wearing like helmet and gear and stuff. He's either playing hockey or he's special.
I think he's special. He looks like he went outside to feed his dog cake.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he looks like he ate plenty of cake.
I think
Another interesting thing is, I was amused when she was fighting the Asian guy. It's like, I don't like the way he looks at you. He looks at you like an Asian. 'Cause it's like, how does he look at her? What
That's what I want to
How
know.
anyone else
He was
knows
the
that?
nicest
no.
person to Bridget.
Here's another thing. Oh, why did Bridget actually expect a wooden plank to stop her from going to
You know,
school?
that was
Stop it
surprisingly
along.
more effective than it should have been.
I was really upset by the janitor's death. He was the best character. He was so nice.
He was the nicest person in that whole town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
smiled.
he really hates JD. Kind of before Ginger decides to become full evil.
Evert.
Yeah, every time I say evil, I turn into Medea for some reason.
He's so like.
I think Tyler Perry has a piece of my hair and wrapped it around a voodoo doll, looking for his replacement. I can't do this forever, Nick. The fat suit's in your closet.
It's all on you, boy.
I've left my moo on your bed.
But, oh, yes, now I know what I'm going to say. It all culminates, and, with her jealousy over Sam and stuff, and she's like, I'll die for you, but you can't, become a werewolf for me. And they're like, no. Like, if you would die for her, then why won't you take this cure for her? But she also kind of had a point with that. She just killed 3 people, or like 2 people. So she's not really gonna be any better off if she did turn human.
Oh wait, I've got a question. Why did she never kill the teacher? If I were her, I would have killed the
She killed
teacher.
the guidance counselor.
Oh.
So are you thinking about this movie at all? You're having thoughts?
No, because I've been staying silent because I really had nothing to say and just wanted to throw something out there.
I have nothing to say either, but I'm just saying, trying to bring logic.
2 more comments. 1, like just before she turns into a werewolf, well, a full werewolf, and she's got like full white hair, she looks like a Who from Dr. Seuss. That's the one place where the makeup and the prosthetics did not work for me. And then the second thing, this movie just makes it very clear that a werewolf is a furry's natural predator. Cause think about it, yes, a furry would be all up on that werewolf, and then the werewolf would eat it. It's like, it's the perfect counterbalance. And they both get what they want.
You talking about the scene where that guy found that kid in the dog costume?
No.
Oh. I was like, that kid is not a furry.
That would have been a terrible comparison.
No, I've got a question. Now I've got another question. So, did she actually just go there in her normal, to the costume party in her normal clothes, or was that
No, that wasn't her normal clothes. Those were her hooker clothes.
She kept them, she had them just in case.
What did Dave Chappelle call it, a hooker's uniform?
Yeah.
High heels, what else is there?
I don't know, but she did look like a whore.
Well, like, when you have 6 nipples, you have to show at least 2 of them off.
True. And to be fair, I would slay her Jabberwocky. Just saying.
Because of you, I can never read through a looking glass.
Jabberwocky.
Wait. What about that Tim Burton one where she actually...
I haven't seen that movie, and I don't intend to.
Has anybody at least read the Beowulf book in high school?
Yeah, I read it in college.
And Grendel.
I read
the poem in college.
I didn't read the full poem. I read an abridged version.
Yeah, that's what I did too. They skipped like the middle. The poem was the beginning and the end. That's all it was.
Basically, you fight Grendel. Grendel gets
He fights Grendel, then he fights the dragon. That was the one I read.
Fights Grendel, then he fights Grendel's mom, and then he fights the dragon.
Yeah, Grendel's mom, then the dragon. That's the one I read.
I think that's the full one, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the full one? Alright, then yeah, I read the full one.
I only read him and the dragon.
I really like this episode. We've been talking about Beowulf, and we educate people today.
And also, Emma Watson naked in 50 Shades of Grey, apparently.
Yep.
Yep. And apparently, the message of this movie is, if you get your period, you better pray to God you're a vegan.
You
No,
also better pray to God you're not some stupid ass white girl.
No, the actual message is, if you get your period, don't be near a forest.
That's true. That's so very true.
And you can see a Beowulf coming out, because only you can prevent murders. I don't know.
But yes, let's start with these final thoughts. And we'll start with you, McFisticuffs.
Oh, man. As you guys may know, I love the Twilight movies.
Oh, we know now.
Comedies, you have to explain. It's as comedies.
It's comedies. I do not like the writing of these movies, but, it's funny. But how I feel about Ginger Snaps. Now, the writing was stupid. Though the special effects were good. They were damn good. The werewolves look convincing. Twilight director, you need to learn from this movie.
No,
It only had two.
General, actually. Just start using practical effects again and stop relying on CGI that much.
This movie really proves what you can do with special effects and makeup.
This movie was made in 2000.
Yeah.
And it looked good. And they only had two full werewolves in the movie, but they were menacing looking. And it looked evil.
CG.
And this movie really did a good job showing off special effects. Whoever was behind the special effects team did a really good job in this movie.
It also had, you gotta realize, they probably had quite a limited budget for something like this.
Yeah, I mean, let's say, I'm keep bringing up Twilight, because it's the only movie I can think of that had werewolves right now that's popular. That movie has so much, it makes so much money. It literally, so for the director, you need to take note. Take some of that money that you earned throughout the movies and invest it into prosthetics.
But they're on their last movie anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And, like I said, the story's completely bad. I did like how they did their own thing with the werewolf. They made up their own rules. And, it kills dogs. And I like the little laws they have with being a werewolf. Nobody really knows if they grow tails, if the humans grow tails when they're not fully transformed. Or do they even revert back? We never know, because this movie really didn't explain. But the acting was actually pretty good. The acting was okay. And I think that they have got really good actors, but they need to be in a better movie.
They also look the part as the other thing.
Yeah. Every one of them had their own personalities, except for the two sisters. But all the supporting cast was really good. So, all in all, I give this movie a 3. The story is shitty, but it has pretty good actors, nice special effects. It kind of has the same feeling with me for the Star Trek movie. Not the best writing, but the acting was pretty good and the special effects was awesome. So, if you have nothing else to watch, I recommend it.
Well, in this Halloween month, if you wanted to check out a new horror movie, you'd recommend it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
How about you, Dr. Stray?
I'm about the same as McFisticuffs over there. I expected End over there to choose a less dark movie, actually. So, I would also give it a 3, and yeah, basically what McFisticuffs said kind of resonates with me. I'll throw it over to Gio, and we'll end it off with you.
I don't have too much to say. I gave it like a 2.5 because I really didn't like this movie. And I love the special effects. They made me cringe. But dumbass protagonist. so stupid. I hate them
But this
so
is
much.
a horror movie, so we kind of
They're just so stupid and wannabe goths and oh.
Apparently
Oh,
he
yeah.
hates fakers. Like Shadow the Hedgehog.
I hate them because of how wannabe they are. Yet they try to act so serious about it.
Oh gosh, life is so terrible. I have family that loves me. And a mom who actually cares about my well-being, willing to burn down the house for me.
I know, right?
Well, she realized that at that moment before the mom walked into oblivion.
Well,
Go to
you
better
gotta,
stuff.
actually, now that I think about it, you gotta realize what age they are.
True.
15 and 16.
Yeah.
But,
They're
I
still
mean,
kind of stupid at that age, I'll admit.
I know, but they try to act like they're not. That's the thing.
oh, that's a good thing you brought that up. What I mean to say is when that conversation when the mother had with the daughter about willing to burn down the house, that was such a perfect moment for character development. But they didn't do it. I was
She could have said, like, I'm happy enough with the life I have, or we don't need to run away, we can make this work out.
I mean,
Yeah.
there could have been a really great conversation there, but they didn't do it.
To bring her together with her mom, because her sister's going to die.
Yeah, they had the opportunity for character development.
Maybe because, you know, if her sister didn't get along with the family, at least she could at least try to get along, but nope.
No. But
Don't turn a horror movie into a Lifetime movie.
Well, they did that. That's what happens when you make a chick flick into a horror movie.
I didn't hear anyone complaining when Carrie did it.
What?
Whoa, Carrie.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
That
Carrie?
Stephen King movie?
I never seen it.
I got
She gets psychic powers and kills everyone.
Never seen
Yeah,
it.
she gets psychic powers to kill people.
Okay, well, my turn then.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, it's Dr. End. Well, I mean, just jumping off of, I have to
CGI
say,
just costs less, apparently.
it does cost less. No, CG costs less now.
Yeah. That's why they go with CG.
Yep,
Yeah, but CG looks so fake.
it does. First thing I'm going to talk about
Because it's
is
not Avatar.
something that no one mentioned. It's the cinematography. And typically I don't mention in this movie, but in most of these movies, but this movie did have a very unique cinematography. Like everything's like dark and orange, faded. Everything looks like sepia. And that worked for most of the film. There were some scenes where it didn't work. Like when that guy was assaulting the kid in the Dalmatian outfit. Being all tragic and moody in such a comedic scene just doesn't, fit right. But yeah, for the most of the movie, I really dug the cinematography. The atmosphere. And like, if you want to make a successful horror movie, you have to get the atmosphere down. It's one of the things that I'm always looking for. And this movie had a decent to great atmosphere. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's only decent, but like I said, that's mainly because a lot of the characters, a lot of the side characters, to me, were just like cartoon characters. They're a little too exaggerated, a little too out there, just a little silly in a movie like this, as dark as it is. And you're gonna want some humor in a movie that tries to be this dark, that starts out with two girls talking about how they want to kill each other and themselves, and are
And then shows you a slideshow of...
Yeah. But the balance is a little off here. I like the three main protagonists. I will say that. That doesn't mean I like the three main protagonists. That means I can appreciate the three main protagonists, like Joffrey from A Game of Thrones. I can appreciate Joffrey.
But you hate his
I'll
guts.
be in the same room with him. But he is a pretty captivating villain.
He's a villain that you would hate, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, she's so... And, as a medium to convey like the confusion and of puberty, if that's what they're trying to convey, then I would say that they did it very well because this is a very, very confused character.
Yes.
I like Bridget's evolution to becoming her own person. I like Sam, even though he didn't get much development. I like how he managed to resist Ginger and just knocked her off that bed. Because I was like, you know she's a werewolf. Why are you making out with her? Did you see that guy piss blood for 10 minutes?
I was going to bring that up, but I forgot about it.
We mentioned it, but...
So,
No. But here's the thing. Is he having a male period is what I'm going to try asking.
Oh, yeah.
I think, that was probably what that was supposed to represent.
Man, periods are evil in this movie, aren't they?
No, we had... Didn't we have a horror movie idea of just a movie about a woman on her period?
It was called Period. There's nothing funny about it. Period.
Yes. That I think this is basically the closest we're going to get before we make that movie.
I guess since we're doing stars, I would give it 4 stars. I would most certainly watch it again, but like the thing with horror movies is like if I watch one, unless it's really, really good, I probably wouldn't watch it again for like a year or 2.
Yeah.
So that's the case with this movie. Like it's no Trick or Treat. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, give it a try because I'll tell you this. I really hate bad werewolf movies. Like, I really hate bad werewolf movies.
Like the one that's werewolf against the American Army or whatever?
Dog Soldiers?
Yes.
Actually, I haven't seen that one in its entirety, but I know it got pretty good reviews.
Really? I've got friends who...
There was a werewolf movie made recently by Wes Craven that sucks.
Wolfman? Oh, wait. That was a while ago.
That's because, like, they turn werewolves into, like, action movies. Like slasher films, and it's not supposed to be, like I said, it's supposed to have atmosphere. It's supposed to be a horror movie. It's supposed to be about the curse, the changes, how it affects all these people. That's what this movie does right. It's not, I'm just going to turn into a werewolf and kill people all the time.
No, it's about periods.
No.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Here's the thing. I'm thinking, when you're thinking about action and werewolves, you know which movie came to mind while you were talking about that?
What?
Van Helsing.
Or he turns to a werewolf for no reason to fight Dracula?
No, he got bit at the beginning.
Yeah. Stuff like Van Helsing or Underworld,
Oh god, Underworld. I forgot the existence of those movies.
I did not. But that was it. That's all we have. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Chick Flick Shuffle. Now, I know someone might say something about Ginger Snaps 2. We may not be reviewing it. We may look at some other monsters besides werewolf